Welcome to Monday morning warm-ups. We have a very special guest this morning. Very special guest all the way from San Francisco. He is the principal horn of the San Francisco Symphony and professor at the San Francisco Conservatory, Mr. Bob Ward.
Hi guys, really great pleasure to be here and seeing all your smiling faces from all around the world. It's really impressive to look at the chat and see where everybody's from. So you are very lucky folks to be able to join Andrew's deal here. So it's really great. Thanks for coming.
Cool. The theme of today is flexibility. So we are going to do all sorts of stuff in relation to movement. We're going to cover some lip trills. We're going to do some flexibility exercises. We're going to get started. We're just going to start really simply with a little bit of movement, starting with chromatic. So we start on middle C, going down a tritone. We're going to play these slurred and soft. The next iteration of this is going to be flutter tongue. If you can't play them flutter tongue, which is fine, you can play them stopped, or you can just play them loud and slurred. And then after the flutter tongue, we're going to do them huffed. So we're going to have little breath attacks on each note as we go down, still connecting with the airstream. And then the last time we're going to articulate them. But we're just going to do call and answer for this to start with, and just follow me and we'll be fine. Okay, and obviously you can take that one down as low as you like. I like to start this one reasonably low because it's nice and relaxing, nice and calm, but it really gets the air moving and starts you to focus on supporting, moving the air nice and straight and full. All right, Bob Ward.
Hi guys. Well, now that you got your air moving this morning, I thought we would just do some simple flexibilities around people's breaks this morning. A lot of times people have trouble moving across that break, that annoying break that's often around middle C, sometimes a little lower, sometimes a little higher. And so I have a little exercise here that I'm going to share with you on the screen that is from a book by a local horn player named Wendell Ryder. It's called Real World Horn Playing, and here's the exercise. So here it is. Pretty simple. So here we go. We'll just alternate, just call and response like we did. We're going to start right where the notes are. Nothing too complicated. All on the F horn. I love me some F horn. And here's the next one, right? And now a half step lower. Another half step. Man, it's early. And finally 2 and 3. You can tell I'm not a low horn player. And here's the next one. E horn. And D. And finally D flat horn. Only get that in opera. Okay. And so here's the next one. End of the line. We're bouncing across that break. Here we go. Now an E flat. And here we go in D. Here we go in D flat. Okay. And now the all 16th note version. Here we go, all tongued. Now an E horn. And here's D flat. And here's our last one, all slurred. Are you ready? This is going to really test your break. It's testing mine. Here's E flat horn. It's a good test for slurring everything. No relying on that B horn here. Got to play with F horn. And finally, D flat horn.
Terrific, Bob. Thank you.
Yeah, no worries. Like,
So we're gonna come back to some more stuff with Bob in a bit, because it's really challenging. All right, so we're going to move to a little bit of James Stamp. Really simple one. One of his really. Well, actually, I think he normally does this one as a buzzing exercise, but we'll do it on the horn. So. Next one I want to do is with you guys is Alan Mann flexibilities. So for those of you who don't know, maybe this is your first time, Alan Mann is probably Australia's most famous horn teacher. He taught my teacher in college. He was the principal horn of the Sydney Symphony, and his probably most famous student is Barry Tuckwell. And Alan is a legend of the Australian horn playing scene, and he had these exercises, simple flexibility exercises that we like to do. So we're just going to do the same thing, call and response. Very simple, going down through the combination. So. Now, there are a whole heap of these Alan Mann exercises. Some may know them as the Herman Baumann exercises. Others will know them in different ways. We won't do all of them this morning, but we're going to do a handful of them just to give us a bit of a taste of these. And let's go on to the next one. Okay, and the last one of this we'll do is this one. Terrific, and we can continue them down through the fingerings, but we're going to move back to Bob because Bob has another really awesome one. Bob, so tell us, so you went from Denver to the San Francisco Symphony.
That is right.
That was your path?
I had one brief job, well, 2-year job before I was in Denver. I was third horn in a small orchestra in Halifax, Nova Scotia, at that time called the Atlantic Symphony. It's now called Symphony Nova Scotia. But yeah, I was third horn there. But that was basically one step above a community orchestra. I rehearsed in the basement of a church, and we did all concerts all over the Maritime provinces. But it was a really lovely place to live for a couple of years. I really enjoyed it.
Awesome. And how long have you been in the San Francisco Symphony?
Well, if you count this season, which is not really a season as far as I can see, this is my 41st season.
Wow, amazing. That is fantastic. Bravo.
Well, stick around long enough and the numbers add up.
So who have been your music directors in San Francisco?
Okay, I was hired by Edo DeVart, who was he had been there for I don't know since 1977 or something. But I was hired in 1980, and I played the first concerts in Davies Symphony Hall when it was opened. Right, it was brand new, and at that time looked a little different than it does now because they did a big renovation of it in 1992. And then I played under Herbert Blumstedt for 10 years from 85 to 95. And then Michael Tilson Thomas came in 1995, and he just finished 25 years this last, June. Except that he didn't really get to finish it like we really wanted to, which would have been Mahler 8, which would have been his final concert, which would have been really something amazing.
Yeah.
And then Espeka started in September, but it's like it's pretty small stuff that we're kind of doing, and but that is the way of the pandemic these days.
Yeah. Well, what an amazing career, and amazing music directors you've got to work with there. Some really
It,
incredible
it,
musical minds.
Yeah, it's the Michael being here for 25 years was really something, and the thing that I'm pretty much most proud of in my career is that I got to record a whole cycle of Mahler symphonies as first horn, which almost no one gets to do these days, and has been a great privilege to be able to do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I encourage you guys to check out those recordings. You can definitely find them. They'll be obviously you can buy them. Spotify, I'm sure, has them, and
Yep.
they're out there, and they're fantastic recordings and fantastic horn playing. So yeah, thank you, Bob. Do you have something else for us?
Yeah, here's a little change of pace. This is a little bit of technical and tonguing flexibility, right? So these triplet jumps. Try that one. And you can start them on any note, but we'll just do three more. Do the letter B. Try that one. And as we pass further over the dreaded break. And then lastly, all the way down to low C. So I like those. I wrote them out to help with my low register back when I was a low horn player.
Yeah, they're terrific. All right, I'm going to do another stamp one because actually no, I'm not going to do a stamp. All I'm going to do is lip trills. So for me, when I practice lip trills, what I want to do is make it more difficult for me. So I start with octaves, and this is not going to sound great, but that's okay because it's training the muscles and training my flexibility. So we're going to start on the F horn on a middle C, and we're just going to make octaves. Very, very simple. And we're going to go up on the B flat horn. Okay, so that's octaves. Next one we're going to do is fifths. I'm going to try and get a little quicker. Okay, guess what next? We shrink the interval a little bit more. And faster. Now we're starting to get into the business area. So we're going to start on, we'll skip on. We'll go to C to D. So a couple of things with lip trills, right? So that's for me how I sort of I'm starting to get my air to support the lip trill, because I want to feel as though I've got the trill is actually sort of oscillating either side of my airstream, and my air is very supported. But you can't practice lip trills too much. So doing the large intervals is actually good because it gives us a bit of balance, and then just doing them in small chunks. So if I were to do, say, I'm going to set aside 5 minutes a day to do lip trills, if that's what I wanted to do, I would do 5 1-minute blocks spaced out over the course of the day rather than one big 5-minute chunk. And you're going to find you improve faster and you're going to feel fresher.
I'd also like to put forth 2 more ways to practice lip trills.
Awesome.
So we all know, of course, the Koprosh way, which everyone hates, but the second way that I would put forward are little blips. And try and string them together. That's another way. And then the third way to think about it is to, when you're doing like a C to D, aim for C sharp when you do that, so that you are actually falling off the fence only a teeny bit on each side. So you're right in the middle between those notes, and you have a lip trill that's just like oscillates almost by itself. So if you narrow it up, it helps a lot, I think.
Yeah, fantastic. All right, Bob, do you have another exercise for us?
I do. This is an exercise which I really love. It is from a book called Developmental Exercises and Etudes by John Barrows. For those of you who don't know the name John Barrows, check it out. He was a lovely, wonderful, lyrical, super player who Alec Wilder wrote a lot of his horn music for. So basically, if you look at the pattern, it's just like octave Gs with a different note in the middle each time, right? So let's do this together. Use both sides of the horn. Try that one. Now C sharp in the middle. I love this exercise, and the reason is it forces you to slur small then large, and then as you work through it, you slur large then small, it's a unique exercise. I don't think I've ever seen an exercise that's quite like that.
That is awesome. Thank you. What I learned from that one is that it's generally what we find is going in one direction we're not too bad, and then the other direction we have troubles, or that's what I find. So I can sort of keep my support going as I go higher, but then I forget to keep supporting the airstream on the way down. So it's a good one to remind me to make sure that once I've reached the top that I need to keep blowing and keep stable, otherwise I'm going to fall all over these intervals as I descend.
Yes, I think in the Farkas book he says something similar. It's like sometimes you make it up to the high note and then it's the note after that you screw up.
Yeah, of course, I've never experienced doing that in Shostakovich 5 solo ever. That's never ever happened before, or maybe once or twice. The other one that's similar to that is Dvorak 9. For most of us who've played Dvorak 9,
right?
B, and then you get the B, and you're like yes, and then it's so making sure that we keep supporting all the way through the descending line is really important. All right, terrific. Thank you, Bob. I'm gonna go in a similar vein now to what Bob's exercise was. We're going to start on a middle C, and we're going to expand by semitones. So that was a semitone. Now we go to a tone. And obviously you can continue that one as far and as wide as you like. Just keep expanding by semitones. And that one I like to do on the F horn. The reason is I like to make things difficult for myself when I'm warming up. So F horn is going to be harder to do than B flat. It makes me move the air better. But whatever is sort of convenient for you, whatever you feel comfortable with. I want to do a little bit of arpeggios. Just a small, quick arpeggio. So we're going to start on a pedal C. Really, really simple 2-octave arpeggios in your own time. Okay, terrific. Bob, I think it's time for your challenge.
Yes. So here is my challenge. Now this is one that I don't see very often. Not only is this going to wake up your face, but it's also going to wake up your brain because it's bass clef.
Amazing.
Try that one. Next one. Yeah. Good breathing important, which is what I'm not doing. Anyway, you guys get the idea. It's quite a fun and useful little exercise.
So, Bob, thank you so much for your time. It was really, really, really great to share the morning with you, Bob. Always terrific to see you. So as we do every week here on warm-up sessions, we finished with the elephant. And we were talking before the session, and Bob, actually, this was one of the exercises that Bob was going to do. So we have the perfect person to demonstrate the elephant for us.
I never practiced this one in my life. All right. Or if you really want, you can do it with flutter tongue.
All right, awesome. Bob, thank you so much.
Thank you for having me, Andrew.
Thank you. Have a great day, everybody.